gotta say something cool though.
Say something cool. Let's see. If he goes inside the basket, I'll say something cool.
Yeah, let's go.
That could do it.
That's really nice. That'll lay up.
You have heard the myths. You have seen the legends. You have witnessed this disc with your own eyes. And today, we finally got our hands on it. This is going to be our third chance. And we could not squander the opportunity. But we finally got our hands on the Tour Series Z Swirl Luna. I told myself I was not going to try the Luna again, but here we are at McKenzie Disc Golf Course, having to try this disc because this is something that, you know, has always gotten praise for. And I've never been the biggest believer on, you know, disc and certain plastic, but apparently this one is a different story. And I brought 2 extra other Lunas out, but I already threw all them. This one is considerably just a tiny bit more stable. So we're just gonna see what all the hype is about, all right? So enough talking, let's get right into it. Playing only 9 holes. Let's see if this could help us. Let's see if money actually gives you dubs on courses. Let's see if disc golf is actually pay to play. Okay, not a bad first throw. Already nice little hyzer flip, flew dead straight into a headwind. And just for the fair debut, or for the fair review, we're gonna be using our normal putters, because at the end of the day, I don't want to be making excuses for like the slick plastic or anything. Feels nice in the hands for throwing, but no excuses on this putting green. There we go, baby. That's 1 down. Alrighty, hole 2. Now let's give it a little bit of a backstory onto why I was really hesitant on getting this or even trying this disc out. So, like, not even like 6, probably maybe 7 months ago, completely gave up on the Luna. It just wasn't flying how I wanted to, and plus I wanted a more baseline disc inside that slot. So we ended up throwing something in the bag to replace what we had with those other Lunas. But, you know, I've heard so many different things about these Tour Series, or just this specific plastic of Luna, and, you know, need to try it out firsthand. I was gonna be completely done with the Luna and just never even try it, but I think since all the stars aligned, you know, they made this disc for the 3rd time, and it's a very limited run every single year, because, you know, if a disc is good, you typically can't find a certain disc from that year. You just always hear the myths that go around on certain discs. So that's the whole backstory. Nothing else more complicated than that. But we're 1-1 with this so far. So maybe the Luna might need to make a, you know, come back into the bag. By the way, we got hole 2 right here. Playing from the short tees. There's no tee sign. Going to the wide basket right there. A little bit of a left to right wind. We're gonna try to put this a little flat, maybe a little bit of hyzer off to the right side pole, and just see what happens. Oh yeah, nice little shot. And that's 2 for 2 already. 2 decent shots for the Luna. Maybe the hype is like real. Maybe this is probably one of the better runs of Lunas that has been released. But right now, I mean, if we're parking all these shorty ones, because normally when I come out to these little short courses, I typically struggle because I'm either out driving the holes or I'm not using the correct disc. But if we get putts on all one of these, it might be a different story, you feel me? We might have to, you know, make a little revisit of the Luna. And something else I was gonna give a try was the Kratos, because one thing that doesn't bother me, especially in throwing putters, is a little bead, because I really don't feel it. But, you know, if I could get a disc like this, that's pretty similar to a Roach, but a little bit more on the overstable side, because the Roach is probably one of my all-time favorite discs to throw in like calm winds. But if this could fly similar to a Roach in like a headwind or like a left to right wind, then that's gonna just throw the icing on the cake, you feel me? It's gonna, you know, do what it needs to do. All right, a little bit of a right to left wind. Gotta get this a little flatter. There we go. Nice putt. 2 for 2 with the Luna. All right, we got some longer ones coming up. Let's see what it does in those kind of holes. Already hole 30, par 3, 367 feet. A little bit of a, you know, crush for a putter. But one thing about, you know, different putters, especially with the Luna in particular, I always thought that they were like really unpredictable, especially like throwing into different winds. Like if you throw it in any sort of tailwind, they got probably some of the best glide in the putter category. But you throw it into like a headwind or a right to left wind or a left to right wind, anything besides the tailwind, honestly, they got totally different flight characteristics. Like you think it's gonna flip up at one point and then it just rides the wind the entire way. So that's one reason why this might have a short leash on it. So if this does what I think it's gonna do, it might immediately go into the bag, especially if it's predictable. And there it goes. So maybe that was user error. You know, I threw that on like a more of a flatter angle than I wanted to. I wanted it to be on a hyzer angle the entire way to let it kind of just hyzer up and then ride the wind all the way to the left side. I'm not the best thrower on like a hyzer angle to get to flip up and then, you know, fly straight. I know there's a lot of other people that can actually do that, but I'm not one of those people, you feel me? So, you know, just having a disc that's just strictly for upshots. I'm not typically one that throws a lot of backhand upshots, so, you know, just having a disc dedicated to upshots, I'm not the biggest fan of. And one thing I can say is that this bad boy has a ton of glide. I did not throw that very hard and we were able to go a little bit past the basket. And that was just an easy tap, like easy touch little shot. And one thing about these reviews too is I'm gonna give y'all some of the bad critiques and some of the good critiques. And it might sound like I'm, you know, if I'm talking really good about a disc and y'all think it might go into the bag, sometimes it might not even go into the bag, whether that be due to feel or the limited amount of runs that you can get from it. So this, I could see this being one of those discs where, you know, it's a good, fun, one time, you know, throw it around kind of disc. But I think going forward, I like consistency. That's just the biggest thing. There we go. On a side note though, the putter is looking pretty good. I can't even lie. The stroke is looking immaculate.
You gotta say something cool though.
Say something cool? Let's see. If it goes inside the basket, I'll say something cool.
Yeah, let's go.
That could do it.
That's really nice. That'll lay up.
Yep. A little tap in.
Yeah.
Alrighty, we're underneath the basket for this one. Very nice shot. Like those dudes said, might need to throw that on Instagram, you feel me? I know, very short intro on the last hole, but we got through it pretty quickly. Now we're on hole 5, par 3, 198 feet. And this flew pretty nice in this left to right wind. Had like a nice little drift off up because I threw it on some hyzer and flew pretty dead straight. So we're gonna see if we can mimic that right here. It's a little bit shorter, so if we get on the exact same line, where this one could possibly go in. Oh snap, that's not gonna be an ace, but nice distance control. Got another putt. Let's see if we can go 4 for 5 right here. And also, if you are enjoying this video and you want to see more disc reviews, let me know in the comment section down below what disc y'all think I should review, and we could possibly be getting those done very soon. Alright, so this one I did give enough power to possibly go in, but the problem is didn't throw it on the correct line, so we are just left a little deeper. Oh, just banned. That one doesn't fall underneath the Lunas category. That falls onto our own bad habit. A decent little roll, but something we can't, you know, climb back from. Easy par. Alrighty, hole 6 right here, par 3. I think it said 294. Don't know how true that statement is. So I think it might be like around 260, maybe 250. If my distance gauge is correct. But we're not playing from the short pad because it's just a little jump putt. We're not looking for aces necessarily. We're just looking for good throws. And that is another good throw right there. Oh, possibly a couple feet short, maybe like 20 feet short. But either way, it's a putt and maybe we could get another bird right here. So far through 6, if we could get this one, we've only missed 2. A little shorty. Probably about 10, maybe 15 feet. Pushing right to left wind. Don't gotta think about it too much. Just a normal putt would do. There we go, baby. That's how you come back, especially taking a lackluster par that you typically should make, you know? That's why you practice. Don't really practice, but that's why you play rounds so you can get used to, you know, making putts. Alrighty, hole 7, par 3, 221 feet. But we are going up there uphill on to the basket, the white basket over to the left. Don't even know if the red basket's in the frame, but I'm just glad we're not going to the red basket because there are birds that like to dive at you. Oh, swing left, hard baby. All right, That'll work. We're probably gonna have a tree in our way. I was expecting that just to kind of hyzer in just a little bit, but stayed straight. Either way, we got a putt. Let's see if we can make another one. We might have a gap to actually go between the V of these splitting two trees. Let's see what we're looking at right now. There we go. Luna's shining right now, but I think honestly the putter's what's really making it stand out a little bit, you know, to its peers. Like I said, this is probably one of the better rounds if we just stop right now, this is one of the better rounds I've had on this short to short course. Alrighty, hole 8. This line, the ace line here, has actually grown in a little bit from the trees. There used to be like a dedicated gap that you could go through to like be on track before the basket, but kind of got closed in with the trees getting actual leaves now, or scooted up like off the ground, and see if we can not just get it to slide up there close to the basket. But either way, I would take a 20, maybe 30 footer right here if we could get this. Yeah, that'll do. That'll work, man. Not the best execution of that shot. I swung it a little bit too wide to the left side. Alrighty, this for 6 under. Going into hole 9. A little bit of a leaning basket. Nothing too crazy. Just don't miss left because it will spit out. I missed left, but good thing that these are Prodigy baskets and left side catches. Look, we went all white on this hole. All right, last and final hole with the Luna. This could go one or two ways. It could be really good or really bad. There's a lot of trees that have grown over. It's pretty much where I can see it dead straight, but we are gonna throw like a hyzer off this right side and let it just kind of fade in. If you are enjoying these videos, make sure that like button, hit the subscribe button, all that good stuff. If you made it this far to the video, you're an absolute legend. Kind of like what this, you know, mythical Tour Series Z Swirl Luna is. Oh, that's too much hyzer. Hit a tree and fall down. We got the distance. I think it might be decently good if we don't have like a tree blocking us, but that hyzer way too far left. So either way, we're gonna have like a nice little 30 footer. So let's see if we can get off this video with another birdie. Alrighty, one of our harder birdies that we have today. It's a little bit more of a technical hard birdie instead of like a long hard birdie. I think we got it in the bag, baby. There it is. Baby, that's for an 8 under, or no, a 7 under, my guy. That is wicked, to say the least. All right, let's go ahead, outro this baby off over there. Builds up a little bit of sweat equity. Shot probably my better rounds out here, short to short. I think the next thing that comes closest to this is probably like a 4 under, where I had, you know, shot like a crazy like 6 under par, or 6 birdies, but ended up getting 2 bogeys. But today we shot 7 under, no bogeys, clean round, and all thanks to the Paul McBeth Luna. Maybe there's just some secret juices into this thing, you know, that produces, you know, greatness, but I don't know what to explain to y'all. But overall, great disc. Really predictable fade when thrown at slower speeds, but you know, trying to disc up and trying to throw this bad boy hard, you're not necessarily going to get, you know, the results that you want every single time. Like I said, don't think it's me going to the bag. Nice little collection disc, or if I want to do like some little, you know, short, you know, course, probably bring out the Lunas a couple times, you know, throw those around. But we got 2 other discs out of our bag I think serve well for like those little touch approach shots that are a little bit more predictable for what I want. So take that with a grain of salt. If y'all like the Luna, you know, all glory to y'all. It's just, you know, once I get into my hands, and I've always been programmed like, you know, the Luna goes far, so I always try to overdo what the Luna's supposed to do. All in all, great disc, great mold. Shout out Paul McBeth for making, you know, one of the better discs out there, and shout out for Discraft for releasing it in such a good plastic. Yeah, if y'all want to see more reviews or more hype discs that I think deserve some spotlight, make sure y'all leave those in the comment section down below. But with that being said, hopefully y'all enjoy the video, and yeah, I'll catch you in the next one. Deuces, peace, whatever, you know, my outro is. I haven't done one of these in so long, so bye.